Hi everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry if you guys can kind of tell that I'm sick, and then if my voice sounds different, I'm sorry if it's annoying. I'm currently sick at the moment, but I really wanted to get this video out there for you guys. I read some good books recently and I really want to just talk about them with you guys. So get a drink, grab some tea, grab a snack, and we're gonna start talking about some books that I've read recently. Before we get into the books that I have read recently, I do want to thank today's sponsor of the video. Book of the Month is sponsoring today's video, of course. Why wouldn't they be? If you guys don't know what Book of the Month is, it is a monthly subscription box where you can get hardcover book, might I add. The best thing about Book of the Month's monthly subscription box is if you don't like the picks for that month, you don't have to pick any books for that month and they won't charge you, unlike other subscription boxes. So if you guys are interested in signing up for Book of the Month, you can sign up and get your first book for $9.99 when you use the code SUMMER at checkout. Like I said, because it is a monthly subscription box, you get to pick from a selection of 5 to 7 books every single month. So I'm going to go through all of the picks for this month that Book of the Month sent me. The one in this box is The Lifestyle by Taylor Han. Taylor Han. I really love the art style cover to this one. I just think it's so cute and simplistic. The next one that they sent me is Things We Do in the Dark. This looks really good. It looks like a murder mystery thriller book. You guys know me. I like my murder mystery thrillers. So the next book that they sent me is The Lies That I Tell. This is I believe this is a thriller. The next book they sent me is Woman of Light. The next book they sent me, I'm actually so in love with the cover. It's called The Stardust Thief. This looks so good. It looks like a fantasy book. I believe it is. Anyways, like I said, if you guys are interested in signing up for Book of the Month, I will have all the information linked in the description box below. Another thing about Book of the Month that I do want to mention to you guys before we get into today's video is Book of the Month just released their podcast called Virtual Book Tour. You guys can listen to the virtual book tour on Apple Music or Spotify. Pretty much what Brianna and Jared do on this podcast is they interview some of the authors that they have had sell on their books on the Book of the Month website. So for example, they've had the opportunity to interview the authors from the books The Good Left Undone and Like a Sister, which are 2 books I believe were in last month's pick. So maybe someday we might see some of our favorite authors in that podcast. So if you guys are interested in listening to that podcast, go give them a listen, and I will link all that down below. Thank you, Book of the Month, again for sponsoring today's video and sending me all of these books. Please go check them out if you guys haven't already. I seriously recommend it. Okay, let's talk about the books I've read recently. I think the last time I did a what I've read recently update was the books that I read in January and February. I haven't done a reading wrap up for March, April, or May, so this is pretty much going to be my March, April, May book reading wrap up, just because in those like 3 short months, it was towards the end of my semester at college, so I didn't get a lot of reading done. I was in a massive reading slump and I just had so much homework, so I did not read that much. But anyways, the first book that I read that I want to talk about is called The Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy. You guys know I love Elle Kennedy. However, this one, it was really cute, don't get me wrong. It was adorable, but it just didn't get my attention like that. Definitely, it gave me really big Outer Banks vibes, like the whole romance between the 2 characters. I can't remember the 2 characters' names at the moment right now, and I also didn't have the book with me because I left it up in my apartment. I would say the trope of this book, like the trope of the romance, is I was dared to make you fall in love with me, but in the process I ended up falling in love with you. But yeah, it gives me really big Outer Banks vibes, mainly just because the story in which it's set in this place called Avalon Bay, and it's pretty much just like this big summer surf town pretty much, and there's locals and there's people that come in, the tourists, and obviously, you know, the big money people and stuff like that. So there's the whole like rivalry there, which is kind of what reminded me of the Outer Banks, like the whole Pogues versus Kooks type thing. So if you liked the Outer Banks, I have a feeling you'll like Good Girl Complex, just because it has pretty much the same vibe to it, to be quite honest, minus the treasure hunt. There's no treasure hunt. I hate to break it to you. Another thing that I really liked about this book is it was super fast paced. I always wanted to keep reading it. It was very, very hard to put down. The romance overall was super, super cute. There is not all that much spice in this book. I would really say that the spice is on like a level 2, but yeah, the spice is not really there. If you're looking to read this book for Elle Kennedy spice, it's not the one. I promise you, it's not the one. She has better spicy books. Overall, I would give this book a 3 stars / 3.5 stars. Okay, the next book that I read was The Crucible. It was really the first play that I read on my own terms. Like, I've read plays in high school and stuff like that for like English class and stuff, and I hated it. I ended up giving it 2 stars, and I think I mainly just didn't like it just because of the old-timey language that was used, and it was just super hard for me to like be interested in. It just wasn't my thing. I feel like I could read a much better book that was about Salem witches than The Crucible. Okay, the next book that I read was Addicted to You by Christy and Becca Ritchie. This series, let me tell y'all. Well, first of all, I read Addicted to You, and then I also read the second book, but we'll get to that in a second. I gave this book 5 stars. It was seriously, this whole series, I really just ate it up. Like, I'm not done with the series. I'm only around the first 2 books in the series, but I have eaten this whole entire series up so far of like what I've read of it. So good. The romance in this book is adorable, but it's also very frustrating at parts. If you've read the Addicted to Me series, you probably understand what I mean when I say it's like cute but super, super frustrating because of the addictions these 2 characters go through. Seeing them struggle with their addictions and seeing how it affects both of them is so painful to like read about. The 2 main huge tropes within this book is fake dating and friends to lovers trope. I would definitely say this is more for mature readers because it does have pretty mature scenes. On spice level, I would definitely say 4 or 5 on a spice level. Pretty graphic in that department. Like I said, I read the second book in the Addicted to You series, which is called Ricochet. This book is pretty much all of Lily's point of view. He is really not in it at all. There's like a couple chapters where he's in it and he's mentioned a lot in it, but this is truly just like Lily's standalone book in a way where she is by herself and she's coping with her addiction. It's just very difficult to read about because her addiction, she talks about how her addiction is not a normal addiction in the eyes of society. Anyways, I ended up giving this book a 4-star review. The one thing I do really dislike about this book though is how short it is. I don't know. I just kind of wish they did more with Lily's story. I feel like there was more that could have been done. I haven't read the 3rd book in the series, so I can't say that they haven't done an amazing job yet. Okay, so the last book that I want to talk about that I've read recently is one of my new favorites, I think. Like, definitely one of my favorite books that I would recommend to anybody. Love in Other Words by Christina and Lauren. This book broke my heart and put it back together in so many ways and so many times. Obviously, I gave this book a 5-star read. I love it. Please go read it. If you guys are people who seriously love the trope childhood friend to lovers, this book is the book for you to read because it is quite literally from when they were childhood friends to like now adult lovers, and it is the cutest love story. It is so adorable. There is some spice to it a little bit. It has the cutest freaking quotes in this book. I want to see if I can find some. And I thought this like whole passage right here was super, super cute. I'll read it to you. It says, "But my dad learned how to put my hair in ponytails, what kind of shampoo to buy. He even had someone teach him how to braid and use the curling iron for special occasions. He could have done that. He could have done what was easiest for him and just cut it all off, but he didn't." And then I literally like underneath put like Dad of the Motherfucking Year award. Like, okay, go Dad. I thought this one was cute too. "I've been waiting for you to come home for 11 years. I'll go anywhere with you." My heart. Anyways, that is the other book that I read. I said this was 5 stars, right? Yeah, I think I said it was 5 stars. Anyways, those are all the books that I've read recently that I have to share with you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below some books that you have recently read. Other than that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, night, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.
I used to take myself out on dates, open my own damn doors, pay for everything on my plate. Sometimes I'd even get the steak, 'cause I gotta